someone has been in a period of isolation. So they've really been honing in on their own voice, away from everyone outside of them, telling them who should they be, what they should be, how they should be doing things, right? Someone's remembering their voice before all of this, right? So they've really been getting in touch with their inner child. I'm seeing white clouds, frothy waters, so they couldn't potentially be near the sea. But I'm also seeing Aphrodite with that, so maybe Greece is important here. Definitely remembering their own voice is coming through heavy, okay? I think that for a very long time they've been listening to others in terms of how to make decisions regarding their relationships, regarding their work path, or, you know, business, whatever it is, right? But with this Eight of Cups, this is what they've finally been walking away from. And the Lovers at the bottom of the deck as well, so Gemini season. It tells me that they're finally in a position where they can truly make a decision from their heart, from their truth. And that's so important. They've been honing in on their divine truth. It's something they're really working on, finding their independence right now. I think that perhaps they didn't realize how much it had been taken away from them, from, you know, the external voices and whatnot, the Hierophant. So they're going through a real I've heard something about they've been going through a purge, but now it's kind of like they're grounding themselves back into their reality. Nine of Wands and the Star, and the Fool at the bottom of the deck. The Ace of Pentacles is here as well. So it's really this energy of it's like they're intentionally ready now to bring the balance back into whatever situation they're moving towards now, okay? Because there's been a lot. There's been a lot they've had to walk away from. There's definitely been some kind of wounded feminine energy at play here as well that someone's really working on. Okay, so that can really look like manipulation, you know. I'm hearing jealousy as well, which is can present as a wounded masculine as well. But also just like this, you know, emotional manipulation, that kind of thing, for someone's own needs, but someone's regaining their kind of, with this Nine of Pentacles and then the King of Pentacles, not only have they regained their power, they're seeing their garden, they're seeing their worth more than ever, okay? So really powerful energy is what's coming through with this kind of cycle. That they're coming to the completion of this closure, right? Got the Page of Swords here, so they're really seeing, more than anything, their focus is on what they're going to build moving forward. I'm seeing potentially some kind of opportunity, okay? So we've got Ace of Pentacles and now the Ace of Swords. Definitely clarity coming through. I think the clarity hasn't come easy though for this energy, you know, because that's come out with, that's come out with the the Nine of Wands. So they're doing some serious digging. I think that they might actually have like digging in terms of their family history is what's coming through as well. Just anything that's happened to them since they were a child. They're really understanding things differently. And now the Ace of Cups, 3 aces on the table. So they're learning self-love. They're healing their cup of love of self more than anything. So they can finally be in this position where they really are able to make that decision. Because right now it's kind of feels like for the longest time it's been a real slow process. I'm hearing a pause, like water slowly trickling down a window. That's the vibe. So it's been really out of balance. The Emperor. Their priorities have really changed. The tortoise is really sticking out to me on this particular card. So whatever it is that they've been healing through, walking away from, I'm seeing a real clearing, regaining the power of whatever structure it is that they've created, because it seems like, you know, they could be in business. I'm seeing someone they used to work with in business that had control over something. It could even be a mother. Finances, something to do with finances, okay? This is something that they've had to... I've heard that it's built their character, built strength and resilience, because I think they were giving their power away too much and they didn't realise it. They really weren't operating in a divine masculine energy, but this is exactly what they're working away from. Yeah, there's been conflict around this energy, this feminine energy that I was talking about as being involved in their finances or something. Yeah, I've heard competition. Okay, there's been competition. King of Wands, wow, lots of masculine energy. someone's really regaining their leadership now. Whatever it is that their power was taken away from them, they're regaining that power, you know. So whether this includes their finances and their passions, okay. So which is why they're getting towards this side of the table. We've got the new beginnings. This side, it's like, okay, regaining the strength now, by walking away, right? So there was a lot of indecision for many different reasons, which weren't clear to anybody looking on the outside, right? They were going through a lot. Two of Cups. This is come out with the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, so they're definitely much more clearer on what they want. However, there's still this kind of uncertainty and how to clear the path to get there. Okay, so there must be something here. The Empress. June is going to be an important month, okay? And that's come out with the Ace of Cups and the Star, so this is a very healing, I'm going to say love, okay? Definitely a very healing connection, whatever this is. This is really, whatever this bond is moving forwards, it's powerful. Like, so powerful. But there's also this energy that couldn't be involved in this forward movement, which is why I'm getting the feeling it's been on pause. This movement towards this Empress, these new beginnings, you know, the only ace that's not here is the Ace of Wands, okay? So that's the action, the passion, the drive. I think someone doesn't want to be led by lust, actually, is what I've just got there, which is interesting. So definitely there's this grounded heart space, but it's just about, more than anything, someone wants to have some kind of communication to clear. I'm just seeing like this path that's just so, that needs to be cleared. There's just so much going on. Okay, attraction. I think someone wants to come back to their present moment. I think they've been stuck in so much that has been cycling through for a very long time, okay? Deception. This is what I think wants to be cleared. That path that I was seeing, I think that there's false masks as well. Maybe somebody's been hiding their attraction as well, okay? For reasons that were unknown, because they've been dealing with whatever this competition, conflict energy was, right? Keeping them in indecision. But yes, they've been gaining their power back, okay? And if they haven't, they will be. I mean, powerfully so, right? I'm getting this energy of someone's really coming into their divine masculine, which is beautiful. Playfulness. I think there's this energy of wanting to be a bit more light-hearted than where they've come from, past life relationship. If it's a past life relationship, then there's definitely going to be an intense kind of connection here anyway. So it's not like, I'm getting kind of, it can't just be light-hearted, right? There's something deeper here. But there can be a playful energy still, you know, calling in your person. So whoever this is, there's been this energy of calling in whatever you're calling in now. So maybe you've been focused on these new beginnings, right? Because there's finances here, there's love, there's clarity of mind. I'm seeing kind of peace is being restored is what I've just heard as well. Chemistry, lots of attraction here, whatever this is. Maybe this is really magnetic quality that somebody has, right? But they've been hiding it. They've been hiding this energy, you know, behind like a false exterior separation. There's that hanging in the balance that I mentioned. Definitely been some kind of pause here, okay? But that pause, by the looks of things, is clearing. Flirt. Love yourself first. Pay attention to the red flags. Yeah, I'm getting that energy. Pay attention to the red flags. This kind of flirty chemistry, attraction, energy. It's all very, I'm getting kind of really, I'm getting like, you know, like teenager vibes. Like, I don't know. It's not giving Emperor and Empress, to be honest. I think this is, which is interesting. So let's just see. Passion. Yeah, there's just so much passion here. You need to be careful because, codependency at the bottom of the deck as well. You don't want to be led by a spark, right? The divine spark exists within you. That's what you want to access. That's what you want to operate on, not this chemical, biological spark that is basically your biology responding to whether it's pheromones or whether it's even sometimes past traumas, okay, being played out. So it's really about recognizing that now, paying attention to that, not allowing these falsities to continue to allow you to move forward so that you end up cycling again. This is an opportunity for a brand new beginning across many different aspects in your journey right now. So be ready intentional with this. Pay attention to other people who want to come through and be very flirty in the energy, want to feed off your energy, you know, and you can feel like validation, which is why this love yourself first come first. So you're going to be getting tests. There's going to be people who see your light, see your energy, you know, and for them it's very surface level is what I'm getting, very surface level. And you're going to need to be mindful if that's not something you already practice, that being that mindful with your energy and who and what you're feeding and allowing to feed into you. Don't forget, attention is currency. Pay attention to the red flags, right? You've got to pay attention mindfully in order for this, whatever this is here with the Empress over here, this beautiful energy, really healing, loving energy. You're going to need to be mindful of the temptations. There's a lot of kind of, I'm seeing kind of people just wanting to drag you off your path. This is someone who has struggled with addictions, okay, especially also sexual addictions, okay, which is why I was mentioning that Ace of Wands. That's something they've kind of mastered, the lusty energy, and it's not what they want to proceed with, but that will come through to test them right now, is what's coming through, okay. And it's going to be that opportunity to truly, it's like divine is giving them the opportunity to step away from those 3D limitations and restrictions now, you know, unchain themselves so they can finally regain that kind of, that strength I was seeing, their independence, their strength, their stability, right? Your hard work is paying off, Capricorn energy, okay? So they've been doing the work, now it's about applying it, truly, okay? No longer allowing kind of this masked energy, you are good enough. That's based off, their worth. I was mentioning that they've been gaining their worth, right? But now it's kind of like, okay, but how much are you allowing yourself to operate from this newfound respect? I'm hearing self-respect. Well, there has been a separation here, but I do believe that part of this reason is the way that they were outsourcing the energy to so many different suppliers outside, right? And I'm talking about the flirty energy, the being lustfully led, right? And I don't know if they've realised that this is one of the biggest reasons that there was a cause of separation. I think they were very lost in their own kind of fulfilling their own kind of trauma wounded based pleasures, right? So it's kind of like it wasn't coming from that place of healing, that intention, right? Being conscious with it. They were allowing themselves to be led by the wounds, and I think somebody else saw this, right? Not only the person they want to now move towards, but also others who they end up being in that conflicting situation with, okay? I mean, you're very close to achieving your goal. So again, this is so close. That is kind of like this new start is coming. I just had like a mini coughing situation, so maybe someone's throat needs to be cleared. I mean, that conversation thing was coming through. I will say that it feels like this is an energy who in the past has really, it's like they have wanted to be chosen, wanting to be selected by these wounded energies, right? They've been working hard for the wrong attention, if that makes sense. So again, paying attention, they need to be mindful, okay? What do you need to release? This is why there's going to be this test of kind of divine saying, have you healed through that layer, right? That cycle, have you stepping out your comfort zone? Are you ready? Are you truly ready to recognize that divine spark within you and really begin to operate on that, right? Because with the Emperor and the Empress here, there's definitely this kind of powerful kind of, whether it's an inner union or outside of you, there's something here that can be really beautiful and profound. Emotions are running high, okay? So that's what's going to happen when these tests come through, you know, someone's going to feel their internal self being triggered, but again, they need to lean on the tools they've been guiding them. The nervous system is really important here as well, how they're regulating that and not just going towards an instant, whether it's a dopamine hit or whether it's something that like actually calms them down but is actually unhealthy, if you know what I'm saying. Don't let the past hold you back, right? So their past wounded self that they've been understanding better through that inner child healing, it's time now to really understand. Got the North Node and the South Node, okay? So it's time now to really understand. Are you going to stay there, or are you ready finally to walk your divine path, right? Because it's going to be there always, but at the end of the day, you know, when are you going to say yes? Nothing will come of the situation, okay? And it's a fiery climax approaches, okay? There's a lot going on. Communication is key here. With this wounded feminine that was coming through, there might be quite a heated situation that comes across. Maybe it's already happened, but that's the situation that nothing's going to come up as long as somebody finally recognizes that they get to release that past now and not let that past hold them back. So their focus is still on that new start that's coming, right? Again, it is about stepping out of their comfort zone. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, we've got the King and Queen of Pentacles, earthy energies. That's going towards the more healed feminine. I will say the feminine that is so focused on herself, her own worth, that she hasn't got time to kind of be manipulating anyone outside of her is what's coming through, okay? Okay, so the Death card, Temperance, is saying there was an ending to something and there was patience needed because this new Ace of Wands has come through. But it's come through with a much more calmer energy. So that tells me there's passion here, which has been coming through a lot with this energy that was coming through. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. Okay, so there's been patience with whatever this is. But the passion has not died. If that's the right way to say this, right? With that Death card, something ended. But it needed to take place for the transformation. But it wasn't it was one of those transformations that was... there was a lot of stillness and silence in it. So if there was, the Hanged Man, the separation that occurred, it happened in a way that's so divinely orchestrated that it wasn't, I don't think you saw what was happening on the other side, okay? 6 of Wands here as well. So there's definitely abundant success moving forwards, okay? Focus on kind of, I'm hearing divine purpose specifically, but I don't think that's even, I think that's still unfolding. You know what I mean? So King of Swords. That's come out with the Death card as well. So somebody really had to end this energy where there's that wounded masculine, wounded feminine that I was talking about, right? That was continuing to drive them. Yeah, so they're getting much clearer in the direction they want to move, but they're also recognizing that it can't be. I'm hearing spontaneous specifically, but I think it's kind of this energy of rushing without thinking first, right? 8 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. That's beautiful. So there's definitely these, for the forward movement, it's very much more intentional. It's focused. I'm seeing this kind of loving presence in that energy as well, which is an interesting term. I've not said that before, okay? So, and these are the wishes coming true. The 9 of Cups here with the 8 of Wands. That feels really good. It feels like, especially this summer, is going to be really significant because as this kind of wounded energy is leaving, that includes your wounded masculine. Don't forget, your maternal and paternal bloodlines are your blueprints for your divine feminine, divine masculine energy. So you really have to work through that. If you've got a father who was, or mother who were absent, emotionally unavailable, whatever it is, that took you out of your divine feminine flow, force you into a wounded masculine operating self, all these things. That's what's been really clearing up because that really influences your relationships moving forwards, okay? And not just like romantic relationships, I'm talking even your connection with things like money and like what your passions are and actually having the drive to fulfill them, you know what I mean? In that kind of divinely aligned way, you can really get led by these temptations that this is what someone has been going through, okay? That has pulled them, and this is what they've been walking away from now, and there's something really prosperous ahead. It's like, I feel like it's going to be so fulfilling, and there is passion here, but do not let that passion lead. Yeah, you have to come back to that heart space, that love space, okay? Honor the divine truth that is here, okay? There are important conversations moving forwards, and this could be to do with I'm seeing not just necessarily love and romance, but also kind of the passions that you've been moving towards, that you've been really working on, okay? And there's going to be a need to be really honest in those, authentic, and honor yourself. So self-respect is going to be so important because that is how you truly see the warning signs before that you go too far in whatever the situation is, okay? Honor yourself. There is this kind of energy of someone's been understanding kind of this past life energy as well, whether it's past versions of themselves or actual past lives as well, okay? Which is why they're now on this kind of cusp of the North Node and the South Node, because they're understanding they have a higher level divine mission here to move towards, okay? And really honing in on that kind of energy of self-trust, so you can really trust the unfold as it happens, right? And if somebody is, again, not everyone's got this perfection to them, and it's like holistically just perfect, right? Everyone's still doing their journey in this human experience. So keep an open mind because somebody still might be struggling with, but really healing through, maybe even recovering, I've heard there, from some kind of addiction, okay? And which again, it doesn't just go away. You continue to work on that, okay? This could be emotional, it could be some kind of substance. Again, it could be sexual as well, which was coming through, which is why that's been come out with the temperance there. It makes me feel like there's been this kind of calming, real like flow has been calmed when it comes to that sacred energy, okay? I feel like someone's going to be tested with this a past situation coming through, someone where there was a lot of falsity, there were masks being worn, you know, there were betrayals in this connection is what I'm seeing, okay? That's going to come through to test them, to see how much they've evolved and grown, how much they're now focused on their future path, which is what really wants to come through with this Empress energy over here, okay? But before that new start comes, they're gonna need to release the past, truly. Nothing's going to come of that anyway. It's going to just continue to cycle again and again. It's going to continue to perpetuate this codependency energy, okay? They're really going to need to understand that. They're going to see the success and where that lays ahead, okay? And this could be, you know, both divine feminine, divine masculine energy is what's coming through here, okay? Because success comes through you tapping into your heart space, you honouring your truth, and what that means to you, which is why the isolation period was needed to clear through the noise, because the noise has been really, I think someone's been really either malleable to kind of external influences or truly just allowing kind of distractions to help them to feel better, like numbing and avoiding and, you know, that kind of thing. And now it's kind of like, okay, do you know your worth now? All that work you've been doing, we're going to come through and show you. Yeah, before that next new beginning can come through, before that next step can come through in the beautiful heart-to-heart conversations. Are you ready to release? The more that you choose yourself, your self-respect, you loving and honouring yourself, seeing yourself through the eyes of divine, treating yourself as such, the more that actually what you desire, what your heart is here for, is going to come to you. Even though you feel like you might be pushing it away, but you're not, when you see those red flags, as it says, or whatever it is, that is not allowing you to stay in your alignment, that's really the opportunity for you to say, hold on, I know my worth, I recognize me now, right? So that's going to be the truest test, okay? But there's going to be progress moving forward. There's going to be an opportunity, providing this goes away and needs to, and you do the right things, as mentioned just now, okay? And from a place of love and compassion, you know, that self-worth doesn't have to be arrogance at all. You recognize, you honor that everyone's on their journeys, right? And you be truthful. You have to be truthful, your authentic self, okay, when you come through to this. Again, speaking lovingly through the heart space, but with certainty, knowing your worth, okay? Let me know if this reading was for you. Sending so much love.